We hear it every day, in conversations, on social media, in politics, words that hurt, divide, and escalate tension. This is often what's called violent communication. It includes harsh judgment, blame, and even manipulation. But there's another way to speak: nonviolent communication, or NVC, a method that promotes empathy and understanding. The power of words, nonviolent versus violent communication in America shows us how this shift can change the way we interact with each other, fostering more connection and less conflict. Let's explore the differences. Violent communication is not just physical violence. It includes verbal attacks, judgment, blame, or manipulation. When we say things like, "You always do this," or "You're so selfish," we create division. It's about controlling, dominating, or winning, rather than understanding. In the United States, we often hear this type of communication in the news, especially in political debates or online discussions. Conversations can turn into shouting matches, where both sides are focused on defending their position rather than finding common ground. Think about how many times you've heard people call each other names, dismiss opinions, or make sweeping generalizations. Statements like, "You're wrong," "You never listen," or "This is all your fault" are examples of violent communication. These words don't invite dialogue, they shut it down. And when we communicate this way, we push others away and create deeper divisions. This kind of language shows up in political debates, TV panels, and even in our daily conversations. Violent communication isn't just about the words themselves, it's about the impact they have. They escalate conflict and prevent us from hearing each other. Now let's contrast that with nonviolent communication, or NVC. Nonviolent communication focuses on expressing feelings and needs without judgment and listening with empathy. It's about seeing the humanity in others, even when we disagree. NVC asks us to step back from defensiveness and blame, and instead focus on how a situation makes us feel, what we need, and how we can work together to meet those needs. Nonviolent communication is based on 4 components. Observation: what happened without judgment or exaggeration. Feelings: how that situation made you feel. Needs: what needs are behind those feelings. Request: a clear, actionable request to address those needs. In nonviolent communication, instead of saying, "You're always late," you might say, "I noticed you were 20 minutes late today and I felt frustrated because I value punctuality. Could we agree on a way to manage time better in the future?" This way of communicating doesn't blame the other person. Instead, it focuses on the speaker's feelings and needs, inviting collaboration rather than confrontation. Imagine how different our conversations, whether at home, at work, or in politics, could be if we communicated with empathy. By shifting from blame to understanding, from demands to requests, we create space for mutual respect and problem solving. Nonviolent communication gives us the tools to build bridges instead of walls. In the United States, much of our public discourse is shaped by competition. In politics, for example, debates are framed as battles to win, rather than discussions to understand different perspectives. Media headlines often focus on who destroyed or crushed their opponent, emphasizing conflict over cooperation. Violent communication feeds into this, encouraging us to see others as adversaries instead of people with different but valid perspectives. Nonviolent communication challenges us to approach conversations with curiosity, not judgment, and to look for common ground even when it's hard to find. While violent communication is about controlling, blaming, and winning, nonviolent communication is about connecting, understanding, and collaborating. When we communicate nonviolently, we're not compromising our values or being passive. We're actively choosing to express ourselves with clarity and respect. Nonviolent communication also helps us avoid misunderstandings. By clearly expressing our needs and feelings, we reduce the chances of conflict. Instead of assuming someone's intentions, we ask them to clarify. This kind of communication can be transformative, not just in personal relationships, but also in politics and public discourse. Social media, especially, can be a breeding ground for violent communication. We often see harsh comments, trolling, and arguments that go nowhere. But what if we use social media as a platform for nonviolent communication? Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, we could listen to others' perspectives and respond with understanding. Nonviolent communication isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about creating conversations where people feel heard and respected. And when people feel heard, they're more likely to engage in constructive dialogue. In a polarized society like the United States, nonviolent communication isn't easy. It takes practice, patience, and a willingness to really listen, but it's worth it. By choosing our words carefully, we can reduce conflict, build stronger relationships, and create a more compassionate society. At the end of the day, communication is one of the most powerful tools we have. How we use it determines whether we create division or understanding. So let's be mindful of how we communicate, with our loved ones, our colleagues, and even with strangers online. Let's strive to express ourselves with empathy and to listen with an open heart. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more insights on how communication can transform our lives. Your support would be most appreciated as we continue to bring you thoughtful, impactful content. End.